is the CEO of Transform Your Performance, Transformational Leadership Freedom Coach, speaker, and author. Regina Huber drives bold, conscious, and heart-centered leadership. She helps clients become thriving leaders with thriving teams by leveling up their own leadership of their teams while keeping their stress levels low and their energies high. With the eclectic experience of 5 continents and through her leadership framework, she guides clients to recognize their own genius and potential to create the leadership, work, and overall life that's right for them while experiencing true freedom and power in 4 languages. And let me tell you, she also brought everyone here a gift. She has gifted you all the Create Your Frickin' Amazing Life template, which is so cool. And you can grab it at any point while you're listening to this interview in the caption or bio, wherever it is hidden. Okay, without further ado, welcome Regina Huber! Yay!
Carol, I am so excited to be here with you today. We had a wonderful first conversation, so I cannot wait to chat more with you.
Honestly, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here. And Regina, we have a little tradition on the Client Code podcast where I ask every single guest, what is their unique client code? So if you don't mind, would you peel back the layers and tell us your secret? What's your unique client code?
Yes. So I love to support my clients with something that I call the Thriving Leader Formula. You mentioned that a little bit already in the introduction, right? Thriving leaders with thriving teams. And it is a holistic framework that covers all aspects of leadership, including self-leadership, and even thriving in your life outside of work, right? And one of its components that is particularly important is leader presence. Because as you well know, Carol, your presence determines your success as a leader. And you could offer a highly valuable product or service in your business, but if you cannot come across as trustworthy and compelling, then you won't be able to get the right attention for it and you won't be able to sell it. And you can also have a wonderful team, but if you don't show up as a leader, then your team will not generate optimum results. So how you show up as a leader and as an entrepreneur makes all the difference, right? What's not talked about in this context or hardly talked about is your energy. We often hear that it takes 7 seconds to make a first impression, when in reality, it only takes 0.07 seconds for our brains to figure out whether we can trust someone. 0.07.
Wow, I'm not even going to lie to you. I could understand that. Sometimes I see people and I just get a feeling like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. Or I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be really good friends with this person. Or there's a really good connection here. I can't believe it's so small. Like that's a blink of an eye. It's amazing.
It's less than a blink of an eye even. You know why? So quick, because it's a part of your survival mechanism. And that's why I like to say your energy speaks faster than anything else in your presence. It even precedes your visual presence, right? And it speaks faster than your words. And when it contradicts your words, your energy wins because it also speaks louder than your words, not just faster, but also louder. And it flows really into everything you think, you say, and you do, right? Including your body language. So we notice when somebody uses canned body language because the energy contradicts it.
Oh, I love it. You said something that is like really getting stuck with me. You said your energy speaks louder than your words. Why are so many leaders overlooking this if it's so crucial and important?
I think it's because it's just not, it's been considered, or it was considered rather, it's changing now, woo-woo in the past, and business, we can't have anything woo-woo, or we can't have anything like that, and we can't have emotions and all that, which is, of course, not true, and it's not beneficial. So it's really important to remember that your energy always is at work, whether you notice it consciously or not. It plays a role in every single interaction, even over the phone, right? So don't underestimate the role of your energy in your leader presence. It's an integral part of it because that energy exchange takes place in any interaction, whether we notice it or not, as I just said. It's just automatic. And because energy is such a critical piece of your presence, it's equally important for your brand image, actually.
Wow.
So, as you
Okay.
said, I find it astonishing that it's not talked about more, actually, Carol,
No,
because
it's crazy because it's true. There's energy in everything that we do. There's energy in conversations. There's energy in attracting wealth. There's energy in being kind or not being kind. I just wonder for anyone listening and they're like, okay, fine. You've told me there's energy in everything. I need to tap into this. How would they do it? What's a very simple technique that someone listening right now can be like, let me turn my swag on. Let me turn my energy on. How do I get into that mood?
yeah, so there are very simple ways. I love simple, Carol. Simple is good because we remember it, right? So there's simple ways to optimize your energy. Like, let's say, before you go into a meeting or a negotiation, right? So I want to do this with you real quick. I also shared some of those exercises in my book that was published in 2016, Speak Up, Stand Out, and Shine. There are exercises to prepare mentally, physically, and energetically for those situations. And you just pick your favorites. But anyway, for today, because we're talking about energy, here's a quick exercise. And I call it how to tap and to connect with your inner power energy. That's what we want to do. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you the quick version here. And if you want more details with it, then I invite you to pick up the book and you can just go through all the details. But for right now, we don't have all the time. So let's do the quick version. Okay, so close your eyes, or if that doesn't feel comfortable for any reason, just find a
If you're
staring
driving, do
spot.
not close your eyes. Just visualize yourself
Right. If you're
closing your
driving,
eyes.
do not close your eyes, obviously. Yeah. If you're on your bike, either. I listen
Okay.
to a lot of stuff on my bike. And then relax your face, relax your shoulders, your entire body. And then take a few deep breaths. Inhale deeply into your belly. And exhale. And again, inhale all the way down. And exhale. That alone should have a calming and relaxing effect.
I
And
already
now what
feel
you want to do
like
is take
so
one,
much more chill. And that's so
right.
incredible that just remembering to breathe, remembering to just give yourself that opportunity to be like, hey, I'm here, I'm present. I can already feel it.
Right.
I'm speaking a lot softer. I feel calmer. Guys, just breathe.
Right.
Regina's got all
Well,
the answers.
we're
Go
not
get the
done.
book.
We're not done. So no, we're not done. So
Oh, there's
once
more.
you
Sorry,
are
guys.
in
I'm
a
going ahead.
place,
I'm going ahead. More.
it's not that simple, but it's already a great tool anyway. So yeah, so now you may want to take one hand or both hands and place that hand on your solar plexus area. That's your stomach area, right?
Is the solar
And then you
plexus by your
breathe.
stomach? Bad at geography, no, biology. It's here by your stomach. Okay, got you.
Okay. So yeah, just place that hand in that stomach area and then breathe into that area now. And now we add the mind to it. Now your mind sets the intention to connect with your inner power energy. And now imagine that inner power energy to spread through your entire body and even beyond, around your body. And picture a bubble of energy surrounding your body all the way down to your feet, where your feet touch the floor, and as far as your arms can reach in all directions. And allow yourself to feel your own expansion as you tap into your inner power energy. And now you may feel more relaxed and also more expansive, maybe even more confident already, like your presence is enhanced. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes. So it's simple as that.
Okay. I don't know anyone who can't do that. That was amazing. I loved it. Literally, like, guys, I think if you found value in that, like, let us know, reach out to Regina. That was so good. I felt in myself, I felt calm, but I felt, like you said, expansive. I felt like I was confident and ready to take the next task on. So I believe this would be great for leaders if, like you said, you're stepping into a meeting or you have something to complete, something that's like high stress, and you just need to center yourself before taking that on. That's amazing. Okay. Wow, so powerful. Thank you, Regina. Thank you for sharing that with us. I really love it.
You're so
Let's
welcome.
go.
You know, some of my clients have used it, like for example, in corporate for clients come to me sometimes and they say, "Oh, I don't feel confident speaking up in meetings." And that makes it just so much easier because it has a double effect. It enhances your perceived presence, which is great, and then you also feel more confident. So
Yeah.
practice it a few times and then you can actually do it within a matter of just a few seconds once you've practiced it. And you just recall that exercise, in quick mode. And
I
also
love
my
it. I love that you
entrepreneurial clients.
mentioned clients. I
Mhm.
love that you mentioned clients. What would you say is the biggest shift you've witnessed that your clients have tapped into using their energy and presence?
Yeah, I want to actually give you two examples because we might have
Yes.
people in corporate. So I just mentioned one already a little bit. One of my corporate leaders, she was in a director position. And she is brilliant, right? But she was often not really heard or talked over by, the typical thing that often happens by a colleague. So once she applied this particular tool, so simple, she now actually felt more confident about speaking up. And she also then combined it, of course, with conversational intelligence. She did a whole coaching program. And that also helped to really keep her colleague in his place. So she was heard as the one providing those brilliant ideas and not somebody else taking
Wow.
those ideas from her. So that's one example. And yeah, I could think of a lot of clients who have had that particular challenge, but one particular one comes to mind that really did a great job from one meeting literally to the next. So it was amazing. Then talking about entrepreneurial clients. So I had a client who was running her own consulting business. Okay. And she was really feeling a bit off sometimes. Her energy felt a bit off sometimes when she went into those meetings with potential clients.
Mm-hmm.
And she just totally shifted her presence. She sometimes felt overwhelmed when she walked into like a whole room of five people from the client side. And then by learning this simple technique, she optimized her energy and presence. She commanded authority now. And that's really, really important to command that authority more naturally so that you come across as trustworthy and as credible. And so you can then present your service or product in the right light.
Mm.
Okay.
No, I love that. It's literally like leading with your energy is being courageous. It's not something to be like weak or a weakness. It's actually doing self work on yourself so you can show up as a better leader, as a better client, as a better everything. I'm sure this, even the work you do with leaders and with entrepreneurs, affects their life going forward. If they're a mom, they're probably more productive. If they're a husband,
Mhm.
they're probably better partners. So by just focusing on your energy and just being more present, I'm sure it just has that ripple effect that goes on and on and on. And that's amazing. I really love that. Would you
Yes.
say, sorry, you go.
No, no, I just wanted to also just quickly add that's also, that also true for how you come across with your team. That is so important, you know? But also to just one particular win that entrepreneurial client had that I just remembered is it literally allowed her to close a major partnership that doubled her revenue for that trimester. Right. So
Wow.
isn't that amazing?
That's so amazing. If someone is listening to us right now and they're feeling stuck, they're feeling like, okay, everything you're saying sounds hunky dory, but I have no clue where to start. What should they do? What's the first thing Regina, you'd say to them? Go and do this.
Well, first of all, I think it's really valuable to work on, apart from the energy piece that we already looked at, to at the same time work on your mindset, your potentially stuck emotions that might be blocking you, because those are big blockers if we do not address them. And then also really looking at your self image, So to me, I was in a situation in the past, Carol, where I really had to rebuild my self-image from scratch, my self-esteem with it, because I had gone through a setback. And as entrepreneurs, sometimes we go through setbacks, right? So as we go through those situations, it's important to work at several different areas at the same time. So mindset, energy, and also, how do we see ourselves?
Yeah. I
Because
would
a
say the self
setback
esteem is a big one too. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Right. Because a setback isn't really anything that tells us anything about our value or worth. That's not what it is. It's just an opportunity for us to learn, an opportunity for us to grow. And I now call these situations or experiences, right? Because that takes a little bit of the weight, little bit of the weight off of them. And we
Hmm.
can now use them in a more creative and productive way rather than looking back and feeling self resentment, guilt, or whatever those emotions are that are not really beneficial. So, as you work on your self image and on your energy at the same time, you will be able to rebuild that confidence for yourself.
Oh, I love that. And listen, I think everybody listening can resonate one point in their life when that felt that way. As you were speaking, several points came into my mind, or situations as you called them. And I was like, yeah, that there was that situation. But from there, I moved forward. So it's lovely to reframe and look back at them and just be like, that was a moment. Let's move on. I really love
Right.
that.
It doesn't
Regina,
define
you've
you.
written two amazing books. One, which is literally called Living My Frickin' Amazing Life. What a title. Okay, I'm just going to say that again. Living My Frickin' Amazing Life, guys. Living it. Okay. What does living your frickin' amazing life look like to you right now in this moment?
Well, I think to me, it's always looked like eclectic and adventurous, right? So, and my life so far has certainly been eclectic and adventurous on several different continents that I've lived, as well as traveled. And it's been filled with experiences that no one else has lived. And I think we all have those lives that we could call our preferred lives, our dream lives, and that this is what it's all about, to live a life on your terms, to live the life that's right for you. And the subtitle says that the life that's perfect for you anywhere in the world. So that's it to me. It's not a life that looks perfect in terms of there are no ups and downs. That's not what I mean by that. It's the life that's perfect for you, so that you can say, look, this has been a fulfilled life. This has been an exciting life. This has been something that I have enjoyed and that I have also grown through.
Oh, I love that. You've honestly lived on multiple continents, multiple countries as well. How would you say the travel part or witnessing all those different cultures and places and people, how have they influenced your leadership and the transformation you give your clients and corporate clients?
Well, first of all, I think they have made me more adaptable, and adaptability is a very important leadership trait, as is curiosity. And I'm very curious. So that also has pushed me really out into the world and had me travel that much. Now, at the same time as being adaptable, it's always important to not forget who we are. So there's that adaptability, and at the same time, there is the ability to stay true to yourself. I do not need to make everything I see mine. I can use discernment, and that is also important for leadership. I have seen leaders in many capacities, in many countries, in many companies, and entrepreneurial leaders at events and whatnot. So, and of course, my clients, and they're all different. So it's very important to stay true to who you are, stay true to your essence. And a lot of times we hear, who do you want to become? I
Mm.
always say, no, you don't want to become anybody. You already are someone. And it's really more about pulling away the layers to get to the core and to the essence of who you already are. That is authenticity to me.
Mhm.
Really showing us, the world, the people around you, the best version of who you already are.
My soul. I love that. Okay. So, Regina, we could talk until the cows come home, but I want you to just take us home and tell us a little bit more about that free template that you gave our audience today. What is it going to help them achieve? What steps is it going to help them move the needle forward to, take those first steps?
Yeah, I love that you mentioned the cows because I grew up on a farm, on a small
I
farm,
love cows.
actually.
I think they're great.
Yeah, they are
I love
lovely.
dairy cows too. Like, those
Yeah.
big white and black ones? I always used to call them the clover cows because of the little patterns. I love
Yeah.
a cow.
Yeah, I definitely grew up with those. So, yes, it is called Create Your Freaking Amazing Life Template. And if you're an entrepreneur or just really anybody, but I think most of your audience are probably entrepreneurs, and you're seeking more freedom and joy, then you are invited to grab this template. It's the first step to create your freaking amazing life. It's there for you to gain greater clarity on what I call your unique assets are, and then go from there. And also, what is your heart's desire? What is your true desire? Not what someone else thinks you should desire or what you have taken on as someone else's desire. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish that. And I really wanted to think about it. Is this still really what you want? Maybe it's also changed over time.
I love that. Well, Regina, it was lovely. It was lovely having you on the Klein Code podcast. I can't wait to have you back here again. Honestly, I think we could talk forever and ever. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving us so many little nuggets. I know the audience is going to go ahead and implement those. And yeah, thanks again for just being here.
Thank you so much for having me on, Carol. It's been just a delightful conversation to me. So I hope people get value.
Likewise.